All set. So I want to welcome you all. I'm going to show very quickly what we're going to be working on today and the materials we need. And don't worry if you couldn't just join for this session because it's going to be recorded here and in the YouTube channel. I have a project, an ongoing project on my YouTube channel to create this beautiful coffee tray, and I have an event, a free event, Mandala Week, and I was talking to Christina Lee, who is here, and she said, hey Josie, why don't we do like a live painting session? And then we developed the idea together, and we came up to the conclusion that the best way to approach this was to do this event. So I am welcoming you. We're gonna be working on this spiral, but this surface, as you can see, it's very small. It requires some technique and some, let's say, skills, because actually painting on smaller surfaces, it's much more difficult than painting on bigger, larger surfaces. So to make it easier, to simplify a little, we decided to work on a 10 centimeter cardboard or cartolina square, as you can see here. I always advise, even if when I am creating something new, I always use cardboard before I actually go to the final surface I'm gonna be painting on. And we're gonna need a compass. If you don't have a compass, it's okay. You will be able to watch this video later. As I work professionally with mandalas, I have this professional compass. Don't worry if you don't have one like this, it's fine. Okay, then what matters is that your compass doesn't open up easily, because you actually need to get this fixed to be able to create these sort of spirals, okay? And it's important to have a ruler. Sometimes I use the transporter ruler, but we're not gonna be using it today. We could, but I'm gonna show you some techniques to be able to divide a surface into 8 pieces. And regarding colors, you can use any colors you like. In this case, I'm gonna show you how to create several tones, a gradient of colors out of just 2 colors. If you have the darker version of any color and a white color, you can create many colors. And we're gonna be using green and maybe some yellow. So we're gonna make a mixture here. But if you feel like using blue or turquoise, thank you, Rita. Before we start, I just would like to make a 2-minute meditation. I always do that before I start painting because I wanna be grateful for this current moment. So if you want to accompany me, it's not going to take a long time. We're just going to breathe, to give some deep breath, because this enhances our prana flow. So if you may place your feet on the ground, or if you're wearing shoes, and your hands on your lap, and you may close your eyes. So listen to this sign. Breathe in deeply and breathe out through your nose. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. And now keep a fluent flow of breathing. I would like you to focus on your heart now and feel your heartbeat. And if you may, feel thankful for the current moment, for for this hour, 30 minutes or whatever minutes you have in your agenda free for you today, to create, to share with nice people in this growing community of Christina and the rest of followers of Dot Mandalas for Fun. Let's thank for the opportunity to be together, even if we are far away from each other, but this digital channel allows us to get together with one purpose, learning and sharing what we love doing a lot. So take an additional deep breath and breathe out. And whenever you're ready, let's open your eyes. So I just want to thank you all for being here, for taking the time, and let's get our hands to work and our minds and our heart to work. It's been a while since I did a live session, and the reason to it was that I got addicted a while ago, and I just burned the screen of my phone. So I am going to be painting today for about an hour or an hour and a half, and I'm gonna go slow because the main thing here today is just at least to show you how to make this structure. And then we will let our imaginations go to fill out the structure with anything we want to paint with. So having said that, allow me just to, hi Alejandra from Mexico, Sharon. Hello everyone who I haven't said hello yet. So we're gonna be, I'm gonna place my camera just like this. I'm gonna drop the comments just a little bit. And let's get painting. This structure that we're gonna be created, I am really thankful because it was Leona Jota who told me who was the person who created this, or at least we believe it's Dani from Blue Hub Dots. I will leave her Instagram page right after we finish with this session, because I think it's important to give credits to people who inspire us. And Leona Jota, my professor, she made a beautiful art, and she shared her inspiration, so I want to share it with you. So when we're working on a squared surface, it's really much more simple than finding the center. Is much more simple than when we are working on a circle surface. And it's a matter, we need a rule. This is this cardboard has 10 centimeters by 10 centimeters. And what we're going to do is just to cross diagonally, or to place diagonally a ruler from the top left corner to the right bottom corner. I am using here, I just wanted to share this with you. Actually, it was a student, and this has been pretty helpful. I used to use a lot of pencil for my guidelines, but now I'm using these watercolors because it's pretty easy to erase with just water and a cotton swab. I will show you later on. So I'm not going to make a whole mark here. I'm just going to make a small mark where I believe the center might be. And then I do the same procedure in the whole opposite direction, from the top right corner to the left bottom corner. And I create a small, this is where my center is gonna be. But then I am going to need, even if I find the center like this, I need to find also 5 centimeters here, let's say at the bottom side of my cardboard, and I rotate it, and I also need 5 centimeters here. This is 10 centimeters and a little bit more, so maybe here. It doesn't have to be like super perfect. Okay. And then if you remember on math class, they always told us, that professors, that to draw a line you only need 2 dots. So we're gonna get connected. We're gonna be connecting this 5 centimeter mark and create a horizontal line that crosses through the center. And I'm gonna rotate this again. And I'm gonna do the same procedure. Sometimes the mark is a little bit thick. So yeah, we have to calculate visually a little bit. And we have divided in 4 different places, different parts our cardboard. Now we're gonna make a mark. If I align the center with the 0 of my ruler, I can make a mark on 2 centimeters and on 4 centimeters. So now I'm gonna pick my compass. I'm gonna allow you a few minutes, maybe 2 minutes for you to do that. In the meantime, I'm preparing my compass. And I am going to repeat. What matters here for this design is that we have this 10 centimeter by 10 centimeter cardboard. We make a mark here in the middle for 5 centimeters. You may do another mark here. Instead of doing this diagonal procedure that I did, you might find a mid mark here for 5 centimeters, another for 5 centimeters here, and create a vertical line. Then repeat the same here. Find 5 centimeters to the right side and to the left side and connect them, and then you get yourself the middle. There are several ways to do that. And what matters here, we're gonna need 2 circles. But first, we're going just to mark the first one. So the first one is 2 centimeters. It has 2 centimeters of radius. So I'm gonna open my compass from the center to 2 centimeters. And then I'm going to place this metal point of my compass right in the middle, and I'm going to create a 2 centimeters radius circle. I have the camera here, so that's why I'm not making it at once. Yes. And then I'm going to show you a procedure that I follow. There are many ways to break this in 8 pieces. You can use the transporter rule, but there's another method that is very easy. And you can use either one, but we can calculate the distance from this intersection of this line and this line with the center circle. And you can pick any part. So if you align the 0 centimeters here with the intersection of this line with the center circle, and in here you're gonna get a 3 centimeters, a distance of 3 centimeters. So we may place a mark on 1.5 centimeters. And we can connect that dot with the center dot. And since this my cardboard, you can always check, but one of the sides of my cardboard isn't exactly 10 centimeters. But if you see, if you have a perfect square, this measure is going to match this corner. See, then we can make a line and we can take it further as we went. And we have divided one of the quarters here in 2 parts. Then we repeat the same here in the other one. And same thing. We just adjust our 0 centimeters to this line and this circle, the intersection, with this other intersection, and we get 3 centimeters. If you don't have the same measure from here to here, to here to here, then your square is not well divided in 4 pieces. So we make another mark, and we need these 2 dots to make a line. And we take it further. Another thing that you could do to divide your circle in 8 pieces is that, well, we measure anything in kilograms, in yards, if you, depending on the metric system. Circles are divided in grades. So a circle is said to have 360 grades. You can use your transporter rule, and if you divide 60 grades, but degrees, by 8 equal parts, you're gonna get 8 parts of 45 degrees. See, so that's another way to do that. So let's start the spiral, that I think it's the most exciting thing to do here. I forgot to bring the sharpener, but I think this will do. When you have your compass, this kind of compass in which you set here a pencil or a marker or whatever, it's important that the metal point with whatever you're painting, used to paint, or to create circles, they are aligned. Then we're gonna open up here, we're gonna set our points, metal point here, and we are going to open up to 4 centimeters. And we're gonna create an extra circle. Why don't I do the first 2 circles and then dividing and everything? Because it depends, it might get confusing. So I thought it was better for this type of design to do the center line, the circle, and make divisions, and then you can make the outer circle. So this is a little bit tricky, but it's not difficult. Now we're gonna be working on the outer circle, in this circle that is a little bit, over the edges. And we're gonna place my metal point, the metal point here on the intersection of this line, on every line, but with the outer circle. And I am going to open up my compass here. I'm always going to be consistently working on this line, okay? Sorry if, okay, it got here. So from here, I'm going to make a leg. Isn't it cool? Then I go to the neighbor, to the next one, and I have to remember that my starting point is always on this line. If I set my middle point on this line, my starting point is going to be also on this line. And then I create another leg. Yay! Then it's funny because other people create the art and I think you look at it and I don't know. It's like, okay, I know how to do this. And again, the first person that I also saw creating this was Danny from Blue Hub Dots, I think. I'm gonna post her Instagram later. So I place my middle point here, then I start creating my leg on the same line. And there you go. Then I go to the next one and I start here. I just have to be careful because, for example, this spiral, it comes here, it might get confusing. It might give the impression that you have already done this leg. No, you haven't. It has to start from this and then you move outside. We're gonna do this 8 times. By the way, 8 is a nice number to be working on. It's the number of the fortune. It's the number of reciprocity. See? And I move my point, middle point here, and from here I move away. And from here I start here and then I move away. And I have created a spiral. Yeah, things to be aware of. You always have to think when creating this, keep in mind that you are always going to be working on the same line. If I place the middle point of my compass in the intersection of the outer circle, my starting point is going to be on this line too, but the intersection with this line with the inner circle. Okay, in here it's a little bit further from, it's supposed to be touching this, but it's because of the I couldn't sharpen my watercolor pencil. So allow me just 1 minute while some of you maybe finish. Let me place it in here so you can do. Before we actually start painting, which is the cool part, I would like to invite you, if you're enjoying this class, next week we have a free event to create this mandala. And it's gonna be a mandala week. The website is here, is www.mandalasforfun.com. You may enroll. It's 100% free. You don't have to pay anything. This is the mandala of freedom. The basis of this mandala is number 4. Next Monday, I have already released, so if you enroll today, you're gonna be receiving the list of materials. The classes are gonna be at this time, by the way, because many people voted to have the class at this time, but it's gonna be recorded. And many people are already practicing the geometry. And I'm going to be next week teaching about the dotting principles, about paints. I'm gonna show different brands of paints and how to help enhance and improve their consistency. Then we're going to be talking about tools. And I'm also going to be explaining not only the art part of this mandala, but also about the vibration, numerology, number 4, the meaning of the symbols in this mandala. And also I'm gonna be explaining about colors. We're gonna have from Monday to Wednesday 3 live classes like these ones that we are having. We're gonna take a break on Thursday so people can get to finish their mandalas. On Friday, I mean to create, to apply to make an application of resin here. I also work with resin, as you can see here. And also I want to show a little bit of the art that I do, share a little bit with you about my work. So let's go back to our paint. If you want to enroll, if it rings the bell, it's I'm also going to be in the comments gonna be showing you, but I think it's gonna be deployed here. It's being deployed here. It's www.mandalasforfun.com. It's gonna be in English, okay? So let's go back to the session here. And again, if you couldn't do this because of course you're watching, you're trying to create it, don't worry because it's gonna be available here on my fan page. But I am also going to make this video available on my YouTube channel. So yeah, let's go for the fun part. I have a palette here. And normally, to be very honest with you, I was a lady that used to buy shoes, many shoes. Now I'm just buying paints and materials for dotting, which I love. I believe many ladies here might be somehow really, I don't know, maybe they think the same thing happened to them. For dotting, I'm using simple things here. Of course, I have dotting tools. And I love painting with brushes. I'm student to Leona. But in these classes, I'm painting with these simple things. Because, why? Because sometimes people just want to have a look and see if there is their thing before they actually go investing a lot of money in dotting tools and dotting things. I've spent a lot of money on dotting tools, and nowadays I have this project and I'm painting more with these things. Okay, because I've gotten to the conclusion that, and forgive me people who sells dotting tools. I think they're cool when you are starting to paint because it's difficult to think on shapes, on colors, and also the sizes of your dots. But as you move forward, you will see that you can make, and this is something that I'm going to explore next week in the Mandala Week. With one tool, you can make many dots. So we can start here. I mean, you can pick any colors of your choice. We can have a center, but I would like to start painting a little bit of the legs here and create some fun art here. I'm gonna be using Liquitex, and I would like to create some colors here. Oh my goodness, sorry, would you allow me just 1 second because I think I absolutely forgot my medium, my pouring medium. Allow me just 1 second, please. I'm gonna pick my water and so we can play a little bit with the consistency of the paints. Just 1 second. I'm sorry. um, Listen, there are many things you can use. I like Bebeo. Another thing here, I don't have any agreement with any brand here. I just like these paints, and I like these pouring mediums. There is Liquitex also. I also use Josonja. And I am not, I just wanna use here things that I like, okay? And let's start with green, shall we? Yeah, normally what I do, I like playing a little bit with colors. I'm using here Hooker's Green Who. And this is another color. So normally I like playing like this. I set this tone and I place just a little more. To have different colors is just to make proportions. So I can have kind of half and half, and in here just a little bit of green. So basically I like working with extremes, let's say. Like in here I place the darker color that I want to use, and in here the lighter color. And I'm going to apply some Josonja here. And there is something funny. If you want to make it like more apple, you can apply also some yellow. You will see, I'm not going to apply yellow here so you can see the difference. We all can see the difference. So I do enjoy experimenting. I have done collabs with other artists that actually don't like adding anything to their paints. And they do amazing art, which is great. But it's important to get to know different perspectives. So look at this. When you add yellow to a color, even if you add little color, look how it changed dramatically. It changes. But now, for example, if I want to make a difference, these two colors are way too similar, are still too similar. And from here to here, you can tell the difference. We could add some yellow. If you add more white, then you're gonna have, let me show you if we added some white. See, it totally changes when you apply yellow to these green colors. It makes them lighter, but not towards white. If we have white, if we make white, it's gonna be a total different color. Look, this is, if you add, I always like adding like the darker to the lighter color. See, it gets greeny, but it doesn't get too yellowy. See? See, it's not that too yellow. Now, if you want to make it a little bit more yellowy, then let's make this experiment to see how it goes. This is too much fun. I love inventing and creating color. So it changes, see? It totally changes. Should have maybe left some without yellow for you to see the difference. So we have gotten ourselves 1, 2, 5 different colors out of yellow and 2 greens and white. And also, I don't prepare too much because I don't like leftovers. It's not that I am a cheap person, I'm not, but I really don't, because you know, these paints are really valuable to me. Okay, so we can do something. We could maybe pick the darker color, or maybe, let's pick the lighter one. This one, and then we can start. We pick some paint, not too much, and then we can work always. I like starting here in the intersections always. Maybe having, we always have to calculate more or less. For example, if I went walking the dots here, because this is gonna get narrow here, right? So if I went walking the dots, it's difficult sometimes to calculate. For example, if I start working the dots here, will I get really small? Yes, I did. And you get that by experience. It's experience, by practice. So you can always count. You did 1, 2, 3, 4 same size dots. This is to keep consistency in the paint. And once you did we did the 4th dot, we started walking the dots. So this is gonna give this sensation, like from bigger to smaller. Same thing here, intersection. This will be always my anchor. I always think about that, and to keep consistency is key in dotting. You cannot do like 2 dots, same size dots here and keep walking the dots. If you start doing 4, try to keep the same thing for the rest of the design to be consistent, unless you don't want to. There's no rules, but I like consistency, to be very honest with you. But it's not that an inconsistent art is less valuable or so. It's not. But yeah, I'm a symmetry lover, and I am a very unorganized. I'm not very organized person, but when it comes to dotting, I really like, enjoy this. I'm gonna paint the circle, and then I'm gonna read some of your comments here, some of the questions. Yes, so I keep if you're starting to dot, if you're new to the community, these are things you will get by practice, of course. And for example, you will get to find about inconsistencies in your art. Like, oh, I did this. For example, this is an 8. It's a pretty squared structure. It's different when you're working with 5, with 7, with other numbers. So it's good to think about and to be aware about the word consistency. If you do something in one side, keep doing the same on the other sides. Or you can work in pairs, for example. You can do something in one, you can skip. My cat, maybe. Sorry, my cat is... So let's think about this. You can decide anything you want to do. There's no rules in the world of creativity. The point is, there are some numbers like 4, or 8. The tendency is to be a little bit squared. 8 is actually 2 times 4. So consistency is important. If you decide to do something, for example, in here, just to reinforce the idea, I decided to start working here. Maybe I could have started working in the middle, but I decided to start here. Then I made 4 dots, same size dots. And after the 4th, I started doing what is called walking the dots. If you're new to dotting, walking the dots is when you might have noticed that to do these 4 same size dots, I loaded my tool with paint every time I did this 4th. But when I came to the 4th, I didn't load any paint and started dotting. Automatically, your tool will start losing paint, and automatically your dots will diminish the size. So let me just read some of the comments. Oh no, many comments. Thank you, Maxi. Yes, Maxi is saying, if you don't have pouring medium or so, yeah, my cat. Yeah, it's my home, Sharon. Yeah, I think so. I love cats. I'm a vegetarian trying to be vegan. I wish I could afford having pigs and cows here in the house. I live in Costa Rica, by the way. I didn't introduce myself. Yeah, well, this is next week on the free mandala week. I'm gonna be showing you how to homemade your pouring medium. Let me see. There are yeah, the international language of cats. Blackstone, Sophie, Alice, Elizabeth Levy. Sounds like you have a bunch of daughters along with you, or you're saying hi. Okay. Thank you, Christina, for reminding about the supplies. Yeah, shall we start working on the legs then? Yeah, the legs, you can take them as far as you want. For this session, I plan to take them till here. And we can play a game here. For example, we started here with the lighter color. We can go with in the sequence. This is lighter. It's not the lightest, but would be in a sequence the lighter one. We can always mix these colors, you know, and you can get something in the middle, which could be cool too. This is something that I enjoy doing too as well. So we can pick some paint, and look, this is really narrow. I would like to connect in terms of color. I do enjoy the color shading, and to make it less dramatic, let's say from one color to the other, we can think about the intersection again of this line with this dot. So we place a dot here. We have to walk a little bit closer, because if I start walking the dots all over the way here, so I place another dot, and then I apply less pressure to the surface, and at some point I'm gonna get to this let me see if I can make okay, I could do it. Sorry, it's moving. So the idea would be that these dots landed, it's like I don't know the word in it's like think about I forgot, but this is this star that is falling or flying over the sky. The falling stars, that they leave some tail, let's say, and the tail connects to this bigger dot. So yes, I start here, and I'm gonna make, I loaded with more paint so I can make 2 dots, 3 dots, and then I'm gonna start walking the dots. They're gonna get smaller till I get here. It's important to have that connection, to think on how you connect your dots. So we start here. For example, if I started this here, I cannot start here in the middle. I have to try to repeat the same 3rd dot, then I start working the dots. Sometimes I do something and then I don't remember how I did it. Another thing, for example, these last dots, they are not that cool. See, they're not that beautiful. What else can we do? Where's my compass? Here it is. When this happens to me, my compass has another purpose. I pick paint and I just reinforce them so they look more beautiful. See, because before they looked really dry, now we make them actual dots. And also, the good thing about using this watercolor pen is that sometimes you use something for guidelines, and when you're gonna dot on top, it doesn't look very nice. I also added some more sorry, it's okay, now I'm working here. Added some more medium, pouring medium here. So it's 1, 2, 3, and on the 3rd dot, let me reinforce, I walk the dots toward this. One, 2, 3, and then I walk towards these big dots. I think, well, we're gonna try to move to make as much as possible today, but if not, if we cannot, maybe to paint a little bit longer. But if we don't, I will leave another video here for you, so you can do this, finish the mandala with whenever you have some time. So now I'm just to show you the colors. We have created another color here. Now we can move to this color. Maybe we can keep the same size of the dots, or we can make them bigger. It actually depends on your taste. I think I'm gonna make maybe, yeah, see, this paint has gone dry. Can you see it doesn't fall easily, and this it doesn't fall that easily. So when this happens, I just add some more medium. It doesn't change the color, it only changes the consistency. Okay, and this is the thing. When paint is exposed for a long period to the air, it gets a little bit dry. Another thing, it's important to every now and then clean your tool, because then paint accumulates. So I'm gonna be making 3 dots. Oops. And you can make this any color you like, you know. You can make it monochromatic. You can make it, I mean, you can do anything you like. You can make multicolor, let's say the rainbow. I'm just using green because I think it's beautiful too. Oops. Yes, I think maybe for today I'm just gonna make the let's say the spiral, and then I'm gonna record a separate video that I'm gonna be posting on my channel to fulfill things. Okay, but this is just to give you an idea. I'm studying sacred geometry. It's a 2 years class, and I love making these special designs. Now we could use, let's say, the back side of our wood stick. I think these two colors are very similar, so yeah, well, maybe we could mix them up to get something different. And then we can make a bigger dot here. When I am, sometimes the paint is really dry, and can you see we got a peak here? Then we do this movement and we dilute dots. We don't want that. Especially if we're gonna place a dot on top. We really don't want that one. And in these cases, yes, as Magdi is from Guatemala, she's always giving me company. Thank you, Magdi. Next week we're gonna make a homemade pouring. And it's funny because, for example, I do these mandala events also for Brazil and also for Latin America, and most of the time in our countries there's no many. I moved to Costa Rica and there are many art supplies, but in many countries you cannot find the brands that you would normally find in Europe or in the US. In Costa Rica we do have several supplies of art, and it's great. I'm really happy for that. But when I work for Brazil, and so we have to get creative to get the right paint consistency. And there are many people trying home recipes with white glue and water in different proportions. And then, yeah, you get yourself beautiful dots with your homemade with our homemade things. So it's cool. So for the session we thought that it was for an hour, but at least I would like to try making some big sushis here. Let's see. I'm gonna mix up. Let's continue a little bit more. We could make, what I said is we have to be consistent, right? So between how to calculate what I have in mind. I'm just gonna make one, maybe a couple, just to give you the idea. I'm gonna use the lighter color, and I can calculate this from this leg right in the middle of this distance, but I have to consider it's gonna be in the middle, what I want to do. And it has to be, this is more or less the distance. I'm gonna take these two dots as a reference here. Let's make another. For example, these two, I'm gonna calculate this mid distance. And I also have to observe that I follow a circle. See, I don't have, I'm doing this by my eyes, by observation, just eyeballing this. Totally eyeballing this. But I have to imagine, maybe I could have done a circle to support, but sometimes it's good to imagine and to train our eyes. And if you like, what you could do is maybe place your compass. Sometimes I like doing this for last. Place your compass here and you can create another circle and paint on top of that circle. But I want to maybe do something crazy here. So I'm going to pick again other colors. I'm gonna pick, this is dioxazine purple, and maybe a little bit of white. And then in here I'm gonna have more white and less to create also some shading, less purple and, oops, sorry. And then we can, in this case, now I'm gonna be using the Pepe one. I think it's more creamy. I mean, this is the Pepe one, and this is the medium flow. The medium flow, it's a little bit more liquid, I would say. I'm not using water here. I could use water. Let's make two different colors, and it's important to mix them well so you can see the difference. I think I'm gonna do something crazy now. But this is something that I've been thinking about a little bit. And then, yeah, I have been thinking on maybe making a super huge swoosh here. But this paint is too thick for swooshes. For swooshes, I have to try to make it a little bit more liquid, so I can actually swoosh. Yeah, see it. How do I know? Because look at the peak. It creates a peak here that we don't like. And if I try to, it's not that I'm not gonna be able to do this swoosh. By the way, I almost never work the swooshes on one stroke. I like making swooshes and adjusting them. So yeah, maybe I've been willing to, and this part is a little bit difficult because I'm gonna pick some paint. I'm not gonna make a lot of pressure against the surface, and I want to make like this, surround the dots just like this. Maybe I have to use a thinner. And in here, see, it got contaminated with the other colors, so what we do is that we dilute. We let it dry and then we apply more green. So I pick just little paints, and I'm gonna not make much pressure against the surface and just continue this. And then I'm thinking of using the same tool here with the lighter color and make another big dot here. And then I'm not going to pressure much against surface. See, I'm just like pushing and actually swooshing, but I don't want, because when we do pressure a lot, what happens is that you get like some sort of channel here, an unwanted channel. We can push it carefully. So I have been thinking about this for a while. I don't know why. Let me clean the dots. And maybe from here I end in tiny dots. This is, of course, just an idea. Okay, I'm gonna get lighter and then see. This is something, I don't know why. Maybe it's not like a super special design, but something to consider. And then I can create some sort of mid color here. I'm just gonna, in this video, this class, I'm just going to finish this, and I will record an extra video for the rest of the paint, and I will make it available soon to you. We have to make this paint more liquid for swooshes. And maybe another dot here with a different color. And when you do swoosh, just be careful, because again, if you apply too much pressure, see, you will have these marks here. And this is something we don't want to have. We can always adjust symmetry and so on. And we can always also add another color. For example, if I add some magenta here, this is a Brazilian brand. It's if you work one stroke, if you like one stroke paint, you have to be very, very like sure about what you're going to do. We can do this, but I confess it's not my favorite thing to do. I like making my swoosh in a dot and then going down. See, we could do this, and what else? We could mix paints here. And maybe make dots. See, I am just pressuring less and less and less every time. And then just to finalize this one, we could pick the lighter color and just make, we could have a bigger dot here because there's a bigger space. Small, so I don't pressure much. Oops. Yeah, the secret here is not to apply too much pressure. And there are many things that could be done. For example, we can always wait for it to dry well, and place, this got contaminated with other color. Gonna fix it. So this is, now imagine this in every leg. I think it would look amazing. So what I'm gonna do next, I'm gonna finish, well, we need to finish because we said it was an hour of painting. I just wanted to give you an idea. I think the main purpose here was to teach how to create this spiral and how to create legs and mix some paint here. And what I'm gonna do next, because I don't want to leave it at unfinished. We finished this session, but I'm going to record a video finishing the paint, and I'm gonna put these two videos together and leave it on the YouTube channel, so you can also finish your mini mandala. So let's continue with our work. I'm using these two. It doesn't matter the brand that you're using. I'm gonna be using these, and this is a Brazilian brand, but I think Liquitex has a similar paint that can get me that color. So yes, I'm going to be creating, did you see, there's a mistake here, but we're gonna fix it later. Now we're gonna be focusing on this big bigger dot here. So I'm taking here, as I did in the live session, a mixture of white and yeah, it's a dark, this one, these two. I mixed these colors. So at this point, I'm just gonna pick this wood stick. I'm gonna place the dot here over the edge. I'm gonna have more paint, and I am going to swoosh, as you see here, and surround. The idea is to surround these dots. To do that, I pick some paint, I apply it to the surface, but I really don't apply too much pressure. And I surround the circle, just like this. And then I can add maybe 1, 2, 3 dots. Then I am going for a lighter color. What I'm gonna do first, I'm going to finish this. I'm gonna repeat in all these spaces. I'm gonna mix up this paint. I have this paint, and I want a more, let's say, lighter violet, and I'm gonna apply some, yeah, I want a lighter color. I can actually play with different colors here. So I'm gonna go for a little lighter color, then maybe a little bit stronger color. And what I'm going to do next, oops, almost made a huge mistake. I'm gonna take the same tool, I'm gonna pick same tool, and I'm gonna place another dot here, look, over the edge, and then I'm gonna pick a toothpick or so, and I'm gonna make another swoosh, but I'm gonna get here, see, the beginning, and then I can actually make here a couple of more dots, and we're gonna repeat the same thing in all the 8 legs. So this is how it looks like. Now we could again play with this color, but maybe we can make it a little bit darker. So we have a light color, we add some dioxazine purple, and we make it a little bit darker. the same tool, we are going to create a third swoosh here. We use one of the toothpick, the wood sticks, the one that is, let's say, bigger, and with the smaller one or a toothpick, we make it more perfect here. We need to fix this. I'm gonna fix it once these dots are dried. And we're gonna repeat the same procedure. Do note that the landing point of this swoosh is on top of these tiny dots here. Okay, so we have some leftover paint here, and we could add maybe a little bit of magenta. I like always taking advantage of colors that I've prepared to make some new more. I think I used here the magenta straight away, but I think it looks pretty dark, so I'm thinking maybe of using so I'm gonna be using this wood stick, and let's already create. I have to load with lots of paint, and I'm going to create this super big dot here, and I can walk the dots, maybe 3 with this load of paint, and then with the smaller I can pick some paint and just make some dots like this. So we're gonna make 3 dots with the biggest wood stick. Let's make these 3 dots going towards the center. Now with this, with a smaller tool, we create the smaller dots towards the center. You can enter the center as much as you can, of course. Let's see if we have some left paint here. Then we can pick. It has to be. I have to load. Yeah, I'm gonna have to use the magenta because I was talking about being consistent. So I'm gonna pick magenta color. And I'm going to make a big dot here, another dot here, tiny dot here. And in here, I might pick some with the back side. There's enough space here to do a swoosh like this. And there's a tiny space here. We can add some dots here with magenta dots. They have to be tiny just to cover this. So again, I'm going to make a dot here. I'm gonna place here in the middle. And in here, see, the space is rather small. And we do a swoosh. And we add dots here. Maybe in here I might add a bigger dot. And this is one stroke. See, in here the space is not that much, so I will always, there was something here on the measure that was not perfect, but we do adjust to the space we have. In here, see, we can make this, and there you go. Before I paint the center, normally I like letting this dry very well, but we're going to try to paint without putting at risk what we have done so far. And yeah, normally what I do is just to see the leftover of paints that I have to kind of make a mixture. So in this case, what do I have? I have green and I have this color. And I can create always some more. So, yeah, maybe out of this green, I can add a little bit of white here just to have two greens here. I have two greens I can actually play with. And I'm going to add some more here. And maybe we could do same here with these three colors. I think we're good to go. So we could take our this wood stick, the bigger one, and we have to be very careful about how we create the big dot and the support in the hand. So I'm just going to make a dot that is not that big. And then I'm going to pick the magenta color I made. I'm gonna make the big dot here. We have just to be very careful. With where we support our hand. And with a toothpick, we do the regular swoosh. We follow the center line towards the center. You are gonna do this for 48 swooshes. There's some solid item here. Great. So now we can take, I'm thinking, the green, maybe at the same height, and then we can push but make it curvy just like this. And it will not go to the center, just halfway. I'm using the thinner, the one with 0.2 millimeters of diameter. And we're only going to do this on one side. And then we can, with a lighter color, here below, ya estoy terminando, Rafa. We can make another one. This will give some sensation of movement to the tiny mandala. And we might leave these spaces in black. So you have to make sure, oh my god, just place this. I shouldn't have, but it's okay. They're at the same height. How it looks I would leave, I'm gonna let it dry. I would leave the black spaces as they are. And then I'm gonna show you how I erase all this, okay? So, just with the cotton swab and this container, water container, I'm gonna get the cotton swab slightly wet. Uh-oh. Need to take this out. And see how easily all the marks go away. It's important, in order to avoid your paint for disappearing, not to make a lot of pressure and only do this gently. You can always get it a little bit more wet. And we're going to keep doing this. Even if the cotton swab has some black marks, you will see that there's it's not destroying the colors here. Not at all. And you will see there are some, for example, in here, I actually put my finger on top of the dots. So I think now I'm clear from guidelines. We did this on top of the spiral, so there shouldn't be marks, but we're going to just reinforce this cotton swab, rubbing here. Okay, and to be 100% perfect, for example, there are some painted spaces here, they're rather small, so I'm gonna pick my black paint. So for these tiny details, I can have a very thin brush, and we have this other brush, and I have watercolors. I could use acrylics, but sometimes I'm going to show you what happens when we use acrylics. I'm just gonna apply some water here. And over the cardboard, I rather use this black watercolor. I think it's much more easily. And it doesn't leave strong marks. See? When I apply, when I have in here, same thing. You have to put, it's not for watercolor painting, this is not the ideal procedure, but over a cardboard, instead of using acrylics, I would do this for a perfect finishing. Yeah, so this is it, guys. This is pretty much the end of the class. I hope you have enjoyed. See you on the next one.